friends. I've got a couple jokes for you because it's getting close to the holidays and it's getting really, really cold outside. So, what did the gingerbread man put on his bed?
I don't know. What did he put on his bed?
A cookie sheet.
Ah, cookie sheet. Get it? Sheet. Cookie sheet.
Okay. Why is it always so cold at Christmas? Because it's December.
Oh, very cold.
And it was really cold this morning. There's still frost outside. All right. What do you call a snowman in summer?
Oh, I know this. Orloff knows this. Well, no, he doesn't know this. A puddle!
A puddle.
As Orloff would say, a happy snowman!
Shh, don't tell him.
You haven't seen Frozen, you won't get the joke. Sure, you all have to have seen it by now.
Probably more than once.
Grandma got ran over by a reindeer.
Oh, and speaking of that, don't forget, you can tell jokes to your families or play some music on December 16th from 6 to 8. We're going to have the Christmas lights out here and something you get to do that I bet you've never done before. You can drive through part of Michael T. Simmons. Normally where we walk and play, you get to drive through it. So don't miss that, December 16th. Ooh, and then you can also see Juno in the costume that you voted for.
Which everyone gets voted on. Mrs. Bass's class and Mrs. Smith's class is gonna vote on which one. She'll be wearing that one.
All right, so we are in a new packet. We are in our 2-digit addition base 10 blocks. And before we get started, we gotta practice these numbers. We wanna keep practicing. So let's do this together. We have 90, 100, 110, 120. Oh, I can't hear you. 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200. Now super loud. 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260. We're going to keep going. 270, 280, 290, and 300. Let's go one more. 310. All right. Keep practicing those at home. Loud, jump, snap, clap, 100, 110, 120. Keep practicing those because we got to get those numbers really solid for what we're about to do. Okay. So we are working with our base 10 blocks and we drew our little drawings up here which represent our numbers. So that square is 100, line is 10, and then that dot, that filled in little dot is 1. And then we don't like to see dots that aren't filled in. We don't like to see those because they start looking like those guys and then they get confusing. They start looking like those hundreds. So we don't want to see those dots that are not filled in. Okay, so let's get started. We've had so much fun with all this now. All right, so in our packets, we're going to start seeing addition problems that are going to look like this. So we have 30 plus 40. So let's add this up. We've got our pieces here. I'm going to put my pieces up here already. I got 10, 20, 30. And then on this side, I've got 10, 20, 30, 40. But now let's add these all together. I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 70. Now we can start seeing why counting by tens is really important here. So we've got 70. So then, if we see that in our ones, where we have the zeros, we can just go 3 plus 4 equals 7. Because our ones didn't change. They're still the same. So we just looked at our tens right there. So 3 plus 4 is 7, or 30 plus 40 equals 70. So let's come over to this one. I'm gonna do one a little more tricky and challenging where I get to use some new friends over here. Okay, so I have 70 plus 50 equals, well, let's put our pieces up. I got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, I didn't get myself enough room, 70, I got my 70, and then I'm going to put my 50 up. Got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and now we're going to add them all together. We're counting by our 10s, so we've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 120. Oops, we should have been 120.
No, you counted wrong. You went from 100 to 120. See, sometimes your teachers need some help too.
I'll start again. Oh, my friends at home.
Now you know why even us, we have to practice.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. 120. Oh, I really got ahead of myself. Okay, so right here, again, our ones didn't change, so we could go 7 plus 5 equals 12, and then we could just add that 0. But let's take a look at something here. We want to write 120, and when we see if we have like an HTO chart, do we ever see, because I have 12 tens, so do I ever see it with 12 tens? Do I ever see more than one digit in one of our columns in our chart? No, we never see that. So what we need to do is we're going to have to move one of our friends, because we have 120. We're going to have to move one of our friends over here and leave some of our tens behind. So to do that, I'm just going to show you here. So I've got 7 over here, or 70, and now I'm going to bring some of my friends over here. I'm going to take how many over to make 100? I have 70, 80, 90, 100. I brought 3 of my tens over here, and look, now I have 100. So, and then I have 2 tens left behind over there.
And then in your hundreds chart, that extra 10 would have just moved to, to the 100. Oh, look at that. Now this is where we're getting into with 2-digit addition, where it's all about carrying when you have too much. You have too much, you give some to the next place value. All right.
Okay, so then right down over here, just taking a peek. Okay.
We're doing the first 3 pages.
And so we're gonna do just as we kind of did on the board there. We can do the 2 plus 3 equals 5, or because our zeros, our ones didn't change, so we have 50. So, or we can draw our pieces. Should we draw our pieces here?
We have to draw our pieces.
Okay,
yep,
let's draw our
here we're going to be
pieces.
drawing our pieces the whole
1,
entire
2.
time.
So I got my 2, and then those are the tens, and then I've got 1, 2, 3. So then we can count those up. We've got 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50.
Oh.
Okay. And then let me do one. I'll come right down here, because this one's going to be more than 100, so I'm going to be moving my friends around. So my ones aren't going to change, so I can focus on my numbers in the tens place. So I have 4 plus 9 is 13. Ooh. And if I add my 0 there, I've got 130. That's where those friends will be exchanged here. So let's draw these pieces, and I can show you what I'm talking about right here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 tens on this side, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on this side. But I'm gonna grab a color pencil right here. So to exchange these, because we don't see with our HTO chart like I showed up on the board, we never see like 2 digits in one column. I don't see 130 tens. So let's see, I've got 9. Ooh, so to make 100, let's just circle it. I've got 10.
I would use that. It's a little hard to see.
A little hard to see.
A little hard to see. Where?
So I'm making my new number there. So I've got my 100, and then I have 3 tens left behind. So I have 100 and
But see
30.
how they're gonna cross it out, and then they're gonna draw 100.
Ooh, and then I'm gonna draw.
I want an arrow where you got a little arrow, and it shows that you drew that 100. Because then when you look down at your pieces, you have 100. You see that 100 right there? And then you had those guys left over.
Okay, should I do?
And then, no, I think maybe let's do one more, but let's really focus on that part where they're
Okay.
drawing that part.
I'll
Let's
just
do
draw it
one
this
more.
time. All right, so I have, let's come right, oh, we already did that one. Let's do 80 and 50. All right, so I'm gonna draw this one this time. So I've got 50 over here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my 5 tens, and then I've got 80, so I'm gonna draw 8 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now I'm gonna
With the pen.
with the pen.
Just want to make sure you guys can see it.
So I've got 1, 2, or let's count by tens because that's what we're practicing. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So we're going to make a big box around there, and we're going to cross it out, and I'm going to make my hundreds. And then how many tens do I have left over? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I've got 100, 10, 20, 30. So 130 or 50 plus 80, 130.
Look at
Okay.
that right there. All right.
So
Then you're going to do the back page right here. And then there's this trick that she was showing you you're going to start doing.
So we have 8 plus 2 is 10. We know that. Or 80 plus 20 is going to be 100 because I'm going to be adding that 0 right here.
And do you
Let's
see how they
try.
have the same number in the ones place? That's why you can do this.
Right
If
here.
they have a different number in the ones place, you can't do this.
All these, there's lots of practice with that same number with that 0
Let's do
right
one
there.
more of them.
And then we go, let's come over here, 0, 0, 9, or 4 plus 9, we have 13. Or we're just going to add that 0 because the 0 is the same in the ones place. So we have 130.
All right, those are the 3 pages you're doing. And we're going to start getting more and more complicated. Make sure that you are drawing those tens pieces and that you are having too many. You're circling it and turning it into 100 because we're going to start really building on yourselves right here. All right, have fun.